Hello, my name is Oriel Taylor, and I just wanted to do a little about me video. I haven't done one in a while, and I've been connecting with lots of new people, so I thought it'd be nice just to share a little bit about myself, what I do, and kind of why I do it, really. I'm a mum of two. I'm married, I have two little children. And I run Oriel Taylor Coaching, and I'm also the co-founder of my Mental Health Rocks Scotland. So Oriel Taylor Coaching helps people manage their mindset, unleash their potential, their all the possibilities in their life that might have been held back by some habits or kind of mindset or anxiety that they might have had. My Mental Health Rocks Scotland is really the same. It's helping us to understand how our mental health and well-being, what it is, and how we stay connected to it. I'm particularly passionate about working with parents and children because I believe that we're not getting taught this, and about what our mental health is and how we stay connected with it, how our thoughts and experience works. And I really believe this is something that we could teach to children, and we should be teaching to children how different a society and a world we would live in. And also, since becoming a parent, I've become really aware of lots of extra expectations, pressures, stresses, overwhelm that I just did not know was possible before now. So I'm really passionate about sharing this with parents to help empower them, but also how they can support their children, and working with children directly. So the business started about 8 years ago now, many years ago anyway. And it's just been a bit of a gradual build for me, to be honest, because I've been learning myself as I've been going. So it's been kind of building up. My Mental Health Rocks Scotland started in February 2020. So it started really because I wanted to heal myself, I guess. I thought, so I have a childhood where I've got a parent who's an alcoholic. It was a little bit chaotic at times. I didn't probably have the best role models at all times because my parents were doing the best they could with the situation they were dealing with. And I guess it wasn't probably as great role modeling as it could have been. And I was definitely loved, don't get me wrong, but there was chaos, it was difficult relationships, there was role reversals going on there. If anybody is a child of an alcoholic or anybody with addiction, they'll probably recognize that stuff like isn't the norm, and you experience a lot of things because of the nature of addiction, like lying, like that lack of trust, just whole different situations that we probably wouldn't want our children exposed to. We definitely wouldn't want our children exposed to, and all the things that come with addiction, like when addicts are high, and the things they do, and the things that we had to deal with as a kid and witness as a kid. You wouldn't want your kids going through that, but it was hard. And then there was divorce, and it was quite a messy divorce, which again is difficult when you've kind of got split families. And I was always supporting my mother, and I still do, by the way, but I do it now in a role where I feel it's more out of choice than maybe a resentment, like I had to because she was my mother, which I probably did for a lot of years. And I had everything that went along with that as well. So I would have all the anger, the ashamed feelings, confused. I just wasn't equipped to probably deal with everything that was going through at that young an age. And I can look back now and say I was doing the best I could with what I knew how. So I was really overwhelmed from all of what went on there, and I was probably quite messed up. And I was probably behaving in quite a reckless way when I was a bit younger, like really quite chaotic and reckless behavior with some of the stuff I was doing. And that was all coming from all this overwhelm of feelings that were inside me that I didn't know what to do with. And I felt just really screwed up for years, if I'm going to be honest. Like my head was screwed up, and just that influenced everything that was going on. And I think looking back, I actually had a lot of anxiety. I had a lot of anxiety, really functioning, but really high anxiety, maybe even little dips of depression that I was kind of sitting in for some time. And I tried lots of different therapies because I thought something in me was broken. I just wasn't getting it. I wasn't able to be accepting things. Things were just overwhelming me. I was still really emotional. It was just really difficult. And I thought something was broken inside me that needed fixed, really. So I tried lots of different therapies. I tried counseling, I tried hypnosis, I tried other one to one therapies. And it was out of this desire to heal myself that I discovered NLP, neuro linguistic programming. And I did a practitioner course in it, and it blew me away. It completely blew my mind. I mean, literally, one of the days on the course, we were doing it, and it's all with the understanding how the kind of mind processes stuff, and then how understanding how we can work with that to change experiences. And we did this one exercise, and I had this massive shift in years of stuff that I was kind of holding on to. And it was just this massive mind body experience that I couldn't explain logically in my head. And I thought, wow, that's like, I was blown away by that, and just how powerful our minds are, really. And then that led me to go down a path that was life changing. So I went and learned hypnotherapy. I've went and learned generative trance. I've learned lots of other therapies in the back of that. And because I felt such a huge shift with that, I was really passionate then to kind of start up a business and share that with other people as well. So I went and did lots of training, and I then went on and started my own business, Oriel Taylor Coaching. So that started out of a need or a drive for me to heal myself. It was hooked on the power of the mind, and hooked on how I could transform myself, and the transformations I was seeing with people I was working with. And this is all this learning, and the amazing coaches and mentors I've had along the years have got me to learning about the three principles, or the nature of mind, or sometimes called the inside out understanding. And this is what I have found as the biggest shift and transformation for me. I loved everything I'd learned with the neuro linguistic programming and the hypnotherapy, but there still felt a bit of a gap, because I was still having times when I was really struggling with anxiety, struggling with relationships, like still like with mum and the alcohol and other things. And I was kind of like, well, I get all this, so how, what's going on? And then I discovered all of this, and it changed everything. So I can look and say, I think I was a really high functioning anxious person. Like, on the surface, I had a good job, I had great relationship, good social life, great friends, always up for a laugh, always kind of, fun things. But on the inside, I was in complete turmoil. I mean, sometimes I was just putting on a face for going out. I'd put on the front, I'd be all happy and giggling and be like, yeah, I'm fine. And sometimes I cancelled because I couldn't just face those things. But I was in absolute turmoil inside. I mean, I would be coming home and I'd be in tears for so long, and I would have whole days where I just couldn't go and see people apart from my husband. I just couldn't people, and it was too much for me. And it was really hard, and it just felt like a huge emotional constant roller coaster. And it just felt like every time I took a step forward, I was taking 3 steps back, and I was like, why am I not getting this? Why am I not moving through it? And I think this part of me still thought there was part of me that was broken or needed fixed in some way. That's, I tried meditations, I tried lots and lots of practices to try and go, well, if I do this technique every day, or if I do this practice every day, I'll feel better. And it's when I'm not doing that I notice that I don't feel as well. And that's where I think the gap was for me. And this understanding that I came to, the 3 principles, and understanding how the nature of thought, how our thoughts and our experiences work, has transformed everything. And that's really what I share now with most people that I work with. I still love all the NLP and hypnotherapy, and I do believe in all of that, but I noticed this is the biggest shift for me. So I always knew I had a strong resilience inside me. I wouldn't call it resilience back, a few years ago, but now I recognize it as that. Like, no matter what was going on when I was younger, like, I always knew at some level I was going to be okay. I just had this kind of little fighter inside of me that was like, I'm going to make this through, I'm going to be okay. And, I always had this, there's someone else worse off than me, I'll be fine. And I would always sort of kind of be, and I was like, I'm strong enough to get through this, I will. I was like a little fighter like that. And now I understand that we have this innate mental health and this well-being inside of us, inside of all of us, that absolutely nothing can touch. No external experience to it can touch that inner well-being. And that's what I was connected to as a child. And I can see that now, and I didn't understand that. And what had happened is, as I'd got a little bit older, I was starting to feel disconnected from that. And now I understand how it all works. I can feel reconnected to that, and I can look back and see what was happening over those times, and it really did change everything. So now, with this understanding of how our minds and our experiences work, I just respond really differently, and I'm aware of my thoughts and how they're creating experiences, and what I'm kind of going through, and just how I experience life. And it impacts everything from, my business through to relationships I have. And, just to share, like, I think I mentioned earlier that with my mum and the addiction, I used to kind of feel a lot of resentment and anger because she was my mum and I was always going to speak to her and love her, but it was just so difficult and challenging, so hard and upsetting sometimes, because people are mean when they're in their addiction. And now I see it from a really different place. So I feel it's more of a choice, is that relationship that I have. And it's really, I'm able to have a relationship in a completely different way because I'm coming from a completely different understanding. And it's really liberating. It's even got to the point where I've been able to move mum down to live closer to us because she needed a lot more support. And for a while, she even lived with us for 7-8 months, which, hand on heart, could never, ever, ever have happened before I had this understanding, because I couldn't even, normally we couldn't be around each other previously for a couple of hours without kind of screaming and falling out with each other. But now I just come from a really different place of understanding, and it's really helped me with my emotions, with my relationships, with how I just manage experiences day to day. And I feel like a lot more connected with feeling my well-being, a state of calm, and just a state of happiness that I just comes from feeling really connected with my well-being. And I just wanted to share that. So this is what I'm super passionate about sharing with everybody else. So, I mean, just to say, I still have stuff comes up in my life. Of course I do. I'm human. We all have stuff that still comes up. I actually still have days where I hit complete overwhelm, and I just want to go hide in my bed for a whole day, or even for an hour, because that's probably about all I'm allowed with the kids, or all I can manage with 2 young kids. But the difference now is that in the past, I would have thought I need to go do something because I feel that something's breaking, or I feel like I'm broken and I need to go meditate, or I need to go see a counsellor, or I need to go do something, or a technique. Now I understand what's happening with all of this. I don't feel I need to run and do all those things. I can find that in different ways. And I find that really empowering, because I have this deep understanding of my well-being, my mental health, where it comes from, how I experience it. So I'm aware of when I'm feeling disconnected from it, and then how I can reconnect with that myself. And I find that amazing. I really do. I get so excited about this. And isn't this amazing that we can then share this with others? We can share it with our children, with other children. Imagine children grew up knowing this. Imagine life would be so much different. Everything would be so much different. It really, really would. And I love sharing this with everybody, because when you just notice that shift for one person, it's amazing. And once you see it and you know this, you can't you don't unsee it. But seeing it with children particularly is just phenomenal. It's really great. So that's what I do. And that's what I share. It's a little bit about me. It was obviously a little bit of a kind of whistle stop tour, but I'm passionate about sharing this because I have lived this, and I've used it with my own life and noticed the amazing transformation and the difference I have experienced by understanding this. And that's why I love sharing it with other people, because I know the difference it can make to myself. And yeah, just seeing that. And I think offering that hope to other people as well. Like, for so long, I thought there was something wrong with me and that I was broken. And I was forever going to feel like that. I was like, well, this is just going to be it. This is how I am in life. I just need to manage when I feel so shit and so low. How do I manage when I feel like that? And now I know that, that's not what it needs to be like. And that offered me hope that I just never had at so many points when I was deep, deep, deep in that anxiety. And I really love that. And it makes all the difference. So that's a little bit about me, kind of the stuff I do. If you want to learn more, you can check out my website, or my Facebook page, or on other social media channels. But my website will have all the kind of ways that we can connect. And hopefully we'll connect again soon. Bye for now.